Welcome to the show, Tough Times Never Last. I'm Michael Kuzilny. I've got Mary here as our new co-presenter, and we're in the beautiful penthouse here with Christa and Charles. Thank you for having us. And of course, Charlie.
A pleasure.
You're very welcome.
Congratulations, Charles, on all your spectacular success. And I saw one of your videos, you said life starts at 90, yeah?
It's true, yeah.
Now, in retrospect, I'm doubting the originality of the sentence. It's a little stupid.
The world's going through a tough time. Tell us about the beautiful and lavish lifestyle you're living. And I think you said, Christa, we're now enjoying our labour, and we can enjoy it now.
The joy is putting yourself through tortures or metaphoric tortures. You know, asking for trouble, putting yourself in an awkward situation, with very, very little positiveness about the outcome. So you have to take risks in life.
Yes.
And that includes taking risk in painting. What you paint, you don't know whether you're going to actually eat bread tomorrow, or you're going to have boiled rice, or you're going to have lobster.
How did you meet this great lady? Because she was everybody's favourite in Housewives, both in Melbourne and in Sydney.
Yeah, I think I tell the story because Charles' story is a little bit, I don't know what time the show is aired, but his is a bit saucy. So I wanted to buy paintings, and somebody recommended to me that I should look at Billichs' painting. So I went to his studio, and he had such a bad reputation. Everybody told me, he's such a playboy. He has too many women. He, don't even think about him. And I thought, well, I really wanted paintings, not a husband. And when he opened the door, he had a tracksuit on, full of paint. He looked everything else except what you think, a playboy in Saint-Tropez with nice dresses and beautiful hair. He was just the opposite. And I thought, my God, this is the playboy? And then I fell in love with his artwork, and I bought 4 paintings, didn't I?
Christa, you love your lifestyle. You love aeroplanes. We like aeroplanes, Mary, don't we? And you fly. You're flying off to Paris.
Yes, we have an exhibition in Paris in September. So that's this year's excitement. We're very excited about, because Paris, a city of love, a city of art, and we fit in just perfectly.
Yeah. With so many people splitting up and having relationship problems, your relationship worked. You had an open relationship, a free relationship.
With whom?
Not only with me. I mean, that was the most honest answer you could have got. That's the question.
Yeah,
when
worked.
your husband has an affair on your wedding night, it's not going to be smooth riding.
A lot of relationships break up because of jealousy. So all of a sudden we got jealousy out the way.
You break the barrier of jealousy, like everything else. Everything is under your control. There's a button for everything. It's a question of how to get to that button, and I know.
I think tolerance is very important, and you marry someone, but you don't own them. And I think today, or even when we got married, the right that another person thinks they have over their partner is really not nice. You shouldn't own your partner.
Obedience is another asset.
Well, you're very obedient. Thank you, darling.
You're both very generous people, what I've noticed. A lot of people who've got plenty of money in the bank are greedy and selfish, but you include a lot of people into your life.
Yeah.
You love people, you love luxury, and you've donated a lot of your paintings.
We do, and we still do.
Well, that's the best way to get rid of some of the people you don't want.
To be generous is not only towards your family and to your partner, but I think you should be generous to people around you. And we really have so many fantastic people around us who are spoiling us. And to give back either to an animal charity or to a hospital or even for private people, if you can help and you have the ability, which we have through the art and sometimes through other ways, I think we have an obligation to do that.
You've got a beautiful obligation, but you also have a beautiful life. I saw you drink a beautiful $20,000 bottle of champagne with your friends, and your dog eats caviar. So what a beautiful lifestyle.
Yes, but you got to work for it. It's not coming from nothing.
And what made you come to Australia out of all the
I
beautiful
came to
countries?
Australia in '56, and I was very, very happy to land here. As a matter of fact, I started being happy the moment I went on board the Toscana, which was a ship that's destined for wrecking. There was his last trip with me in it. And then we eventually made it to Melbourne. It was our intended port of destination. And in Melbourne, I had another invasion of people from the Commonwealth Employment Service who proposed to me to be an immigration officer or immigration officer. And I really enjoyed it. And I was in Bonegilla camp for about a couple of months. But then I decided to go into more glamorous activities.
I've got two questions for you. What was it like to see your artwork at the Olympics when it was, at the Olympics? And also the other question is, when did you paint your first painting? What age?
I was already, I was 13 when I was already an illustrator for an editing house. And I also got then directorship of, I was about 15 or 16, a monthly magazine. I was actually doing all the journalistic side of it, traveling to interview people in different states of Yugoslavia. But I'm very happy having had all these experiences because they all come in handy.
How did Charles get to...
For the China, for Beijing.
Yes.
So it was for the Beijing Olympic bid. A gentleman came into the studio at the time and asked for Billich. We took him to the studio and he looked around and he said, I have been involved with the Olympics for a long time and I've seen a lot of your Olympic paintings. I'm the chairman of the Chinese Olympic bid organization. I would like you to be our artist. And that was an amazing honor at the time.
And I get on very well with the Chinese and the Chinese government, and the Chinese is a very erudite people. I've been there for quite a long time, much longer than our civilization. And we have to respect them.
What about Hugh Hefner? Is he a
Hugh
good
Hefner.
man?
Yeah, he's different.
He's different.
What were the parties like?
Parties were, yes,
Charles,
I'm always
next
open
paintings?
for it. Please, make me an offer.
You'd be waiting, Christa, probably to pack your Louis Vuitton suitcase and you're looking forward to your next trip to Paris, yeah?
We go to Paris, yes.
I gave it the order to learn to speak French by the time I get to Paris.
There you go. I've got my
So
future
it's
set.
motivation. And my motivation is in order. Thank you.
Well, I'm happy you love each other so much and you've been together all this time and you're proud of each other. Thank you very much for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Off to Paris.
Yeah, we see you in Paris.
Yeah, we'll have this interview in French.
Would be lovely.
Yeah.
And thank you very much for watching. Tough Times Never Last.